Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, yai da 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 da, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, Cantor. Good Shabbos, everyone who is joining us for Temple Shir Shalom's Kabbalat Shabbat service online. It's good to have you with us and to be able to bring in Shabbat together. We start off, help us with a tradition of getting to know the people who are part of our community. And whether you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, take a moment to post something in the chat so that we can wish you a Shabbat Shalom. Know that you're with us, that we're celebrating Shabbat. And so as we see that, I can see on my other screen that we get to welcome and wish a Shabbat Shalom to Art and Aaron and Terry and Janet and Richard and Jan. And it's good to have all of you with us as we celebrate and welcome Shabbat. And so as we do that, this is going to be one of our meditation style services. And so we invite you to sit back, relax, get comfortable, and we'll have some of the words on the screen for you so you can join with some of the prayers if you would like to, but you don't have to. You can sit back and listen to the prayers, the words of the prayers. You can sing along with them, but see how they move you tonight as we first start with just an opening little song, just to help us out to set our tone as we say, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, may God build this world from love.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Tadadai, Yadai, Yadadai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Yadadai, Yadadai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Tadadai, Yadadai, Yadadai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Yadadai, Yadadai. I will build this world from love. Yadadai, Yadadai, Yadadai. And you must build this world from love. Yadadai, Yadadai, Yadadai. And if we build this world from love, Yadadai, 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 then God will build this world from love. Yadadai, Yadadai, Yadadai. Olam Chesed, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Yadadai, Yadadai. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai, Yadadai, Yadadai.
This week has been a challenging week, particularly the reports that we've read about Jews being attacked simply because they're Jewish. I spoke with one mother this week whose teenage daughter was going to the mall who took off her Magen David. her Jewish star, her necklace, because she was afraid to be wearing it in public. So our question is, how do we respond to things like this? How do we live our lives without fear of living them? How do we stomp out that hatred? Part of our strength has always come from being a community. By being together as a community, we work together to figure things out, to make things right. And as a community, we've held on to hope, to our belief that our world can be better. And that when we lose that hope, we turn to each other. We turn to our traditions, to our rituals, to help us navigate challenging times like this. Our Torah portion this week also helps guide us. In it, we read something that is familiar from many of our services. That we conclude our meditation style services. We read the words of the priestly benediction. Words where we say, Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. The words traditionally that parents ask God to bless their children with on Friday nights at the Shabbat table. We say, may God bless you and may God protect you. It's a blessing, one of two blessings that are actually written in the entire Torah. Words that we repeat often. Words that can be traced back over 2,600 years to a small silver plaque, the size of your finger, your pinky, which now resides in the Israel Museum in Jerusalem. And because it's so old, for thousands of years, we've had a chance to read these words and to interpret them. And there's one commentary that I want to share tonight that I think speaks to how we deal with the challenges that we face today. When we see those words, Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you and protect you, we're asking that God give us the ability to recognize the good that's in our life, in good times and bad times, when we get what we want and when we don't. To be blessed, according to the words in the commentary, was to mean that we could see beyond our hardships, that we could see the positive, that we could see the good that comes from some situations. The question is, how do we move that? How do we do that? How do we move past these difficult moments and still recognize the richness that's in our lives? Our tradition, it teaches us that we start by saying a blessing, any blessing, long one, a short one, could be the priestly benediction, could be less, could be for you, could be a blessing that you say a prayer for somebody else. But by saying that blessing, we're using our traditional words. We use the word Baruch. It means blessed, but really we're saying thank you. We're expressing that gratitude. We're finding a way to show our appreciation for something in our lives, even when we find it challenging. And by doing that, we bring those blessings into our lives. So how do we get past these challenging times that we've experienced this week? I don't have all the answers, but I know that it feels good to join together as a community, to say a blessing, to be together, to strengthen one another, and to find the words that help us continue to have the hope that we can make our world better. And so we join together in the first blessing, the first prayer, the words of the Baruch Hu.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Next words that we join together under the words of the Hashkivenu, a prayer that reminds us when we lie down to sleep tonight that God watches over us, God protects us. And it's a prayer that petitions God to make sure that tomorrow morning we wake up to life renewed and refreshed. And so just for a moment, I invite you to close your eyes. Focus on your breathing. To breathe in, slowly inhaling through your nose, and to breathe out, exhaling through your mouth. Continue to focus on your breathing, something that we do thousands of times each day without noticing, without paying attention to it. Breathe in, breathing in God's gift to us, and breathe out, sharing your gift with the world. The words of this prayer, the words of the Hashkivenu, they ask that God provide us with peace, wholeness. God watch over us. The rabbis knew that when we went to bed at night, we closed our eyes, that it could be a challenging time. It's the first time where we're left alone with our thoughts, with the ideas that are percolating in our mind. For some, it was a stressful time to think about the challenges of the day, to think about what wasn't done, to think about what still needed to be completed. There was a time where people thought about mistakes they may have made, how they hurt someone, how they wronged someone. and it prevented them from falling asleep, from getting a restful night. For some, it was a time when they missed that loved one who was no longer physically with them, or a time when our thoughts just wouldn't stop, wouldn't let us rest. And so the rabbis, they wrote this prayer asking that tonight when we go to sleep, that we can be present in the moment, that we don't have to worry about our past, we don't have to worry about what's going to happen the next day, but we can soak in the blessings that are a part of our lives. We can rest easily, get a full night's rest, so that tomorrow morning we can wake up to life renewed, refreshed, ready to fulfill our mission. So, as you picture yourself laying down and going to sleep tonight, as we sing these words, also take a moment to picture what life would be like if you woke up refreshed after a full night's sleep, renewed and ready to celebrate life.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim Ufros aleinu Sukat shlomecha L'chaim u'shalom Me'ata v'yad olam Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim Ushmor tziteinu Uvoeinu L'chaim u'shalom Me'ata v'yad olam Me'ata v'yad olam Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim.
And in preparation for the Amidah, we take a moment for our own private meditations, following the prayers of our hearts, those that our hearts prompt to give us an ability to be able to connect with ourselves and with God. Please pray silently.
יהיו לרצון עם רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי יהיו לרצון עם רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu ve'imoteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Leah ve'Elohei Rachel האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Beyond our own private prayers, do we as a community turn to think of those friends and family who are in need of healing? As we recite the words of Misha Berach Lecholim, hoping that just as our people have found strength in the words of Torah, we hope that it continue to give us and our loved ones that strength as well. As we say, Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Rivka Sarah Rivka Leah v'Rachel v'Yavarech et Acholim. Merciful God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel, send your blessings to our loved ones who are stricken with illness, or anxiety. To Larry Burke, Grace Geraldine Carafelli, Karen Kasman, Lindsay Cooper, Molly Cotent, Barbara Essrig, Daniel Fell, Sandy Flair, Karen Garassi, Jim Garrett, Kathy Gilman, Gracie Goldman, Joseph Goldring, Lola Goldring, Sandy Gorosh, Franklin Grady, Batia Batbeshia Panina, Susan Greenberg, Charles Gross, Susan Gorelnik, Hank Heiser, Helen Indianer, John Ireland, Jane Jacobs, Bruce Kay, Serafina Coffrin, Marta Lazar, Henry Leopold, Charlene Lizelle, Angela Liverati, Josh Lubick, Libby McIntyre, Michael Malley, Zoe Marcus, Beth Margolin, Joyce Meza, Sharon Mizell, Hannah Molesky, Nancy Morrow, Perry Moss, Lori Moss, Scott Miles, Kate Negron, Rabbi Robert Nosenchuk, Razel Bat Leah Miriam, Leah Elisheva Bat Avram Vachana, Tamara Pesikoff, Melanie Pohl, Diane Rabbit, Diane Rabit, James Raftery, Joanne Reed, Raymond Reif, Alan Rosen, Morgan Ross, the Saint Amand family, Micha Chana Ben Sima Freda, Amy Selmanoff, Danny Shepard, Barbara Storm, Mark Wagoner, Skylie Weingarten, Sarah Batfega, Helene Wolf, all those battling the coronavirus both at home and in the hospital, the 53,117 American troops who have been injured in Iraq and Afghanistan to date, as well as all the names in our heart. May God grant them a refuah shlema, complete healing of mind, of body, and of spirit.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
In addition to our prayers for healing, we ask that God's partners in healing and those whose work allows our needs for survival to be met, may they all be blessed. Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu, our God and God of our ancestors. Bless all those who put themselves at risk to care for the sick. Bless those who continue to go above and beyond, everyone who puts the needs of others above their own. And bless those who navigate the unfolding dangers of the world each day, tending to those they have sworn to help. Bless them in their coming home and bless them in their going out. Ease their fear, sustain them. Source of all breath, healer of all beings, protect them and restore their hope. Strengthen them that they may bring strength. Keep them in health that they may bring health. Help them know again a time when they can breathe without fear. Bless the sacred work of their hands, and may this plague pass from among us speedily and in our days. We continue with the words of the Aleinu on page 41 if you're following in a prayer book.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Nothing can fill the emptiness that death leaves behind. Those who are no longer a physical presence are still alive within our thoughts and our words. Their memories are only a part of the picture. So long as we recall their presence, then their warmth, their friendship, their heart, mind, and thought are still within our soul. We honor and cherish the ones we love by living our lives to the fullest. And so on this Shabbat, we think of those friends and family who have been taken from us in these most recent days. Ushiva, Shloshim, and Shana we mark. Carol Rock, Renee Firestone, Barbara Shear, Sidney Greenberg, Joel Helfman, Judy Yarber, Gerald Gold, Eleanor Park, Fanny Zuckerman, the 7,038 Americans of our armed forces who have been killed in Iraq, Afghanistan, and the surrounding areas to date, and the 588,613 Americans who have lost their lives to the coronavirus. And to their names, we add those whose yard sites we mark, those whose anniversary of passing we lovingly commemorate. Edith Abramson, Adolph Beckman, Hyman Blackman, Elaine Betty Bach, Dr. Morris Ely Eisenberg, Robert Bob Feldman, Pearl Friedman, Sarah Friedman, Mary Gersh, Dr. Arthur Goldberg, Jeanette Komarski Goldberg, Carrie Goldberger, Zena Gray, Julius Greenberg, Jack Grapman, Robert Gerwin, Jack Grotman, Eddie Raphael Handelman, Millie Hoseman, Murray Hoseman, Jerry Jacob, Livia Catan, Sophie Korn, Barbara Ledger Smith, Carol Joan Mazius, Ludwig August Overdick, Lorene Harris Reed, Robert Rubin, George Side, Saul Seidman, Dr. Oscar Shapiro, Esther Shapiro, Emma Silverman, Rose Silverton, Mickey Slate, Barry Tildes, Frida Weinberg, Leslie Weiss, along with all the names in our hearts and those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, do we join together in the immortal words of the mourner's Kaddish, thanking God for the gift of life. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma tivrach chirutei v'amlich malchutei, b'chayachon u'vyomachon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam omei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudusha v'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all the bereaved among us here and everywhere. As together we say, amen.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. הוא עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Good
Shabbos,
Shabbos.
everyone. Good Shabbos.
Shabbat shalom. We have a moment, and I'll say it now because I know there's a little bit of a delay between what we're producing and a few seconds until you guys hear what we're saying. So if you have any Tish questions for after our announcements, feel free to post those in the YouTube chat, where we will be happy to answer those questions and do our best and have some fun with them. So as we do that, or if you have those questions that you want to put in there, as you do that, we have a few announcements to be able to share with you. Some different things that are going on. One, we are moving closer to our outdoor summer services, which is really exciting. The opportunity we had last weekend with our graduates on Friday night for the Shabbat service and with our confirmands on Sunday night and their families to be outdoors here at Temple. Some of you were able to join us online. If you have feedback, feel free to let us know about it, because we want to continue to make sure that it's a good experience being able to watch and be a part of services online, for those that will continue to do that. But for those of you that want to come in person, I believe registration is now live for June 4th Shabbat. It's now posted in the chat so that you can register there if you'd like to join us in person for that Friday night. And Ed and Ida, I know that you were the first two to register, and we look forward to seeing you for that service and being with you. And hopefully we'll see some others there too. As we do that, we are going to continue, at least for a little bit, the recommendations from our COVID task force. So even though we're outdoors and the state has lifted some of the guidelines, we're still going to ask everybody to continue to wear masks at those services, and we'll continue to have people spaced out a little bit more than if we were just joining together in a typical year with our services outdoors as well. On that first one, I believe there's something very special happening, and since he's not here with us tonight to be able to share, because Rabbi Moskowitz is celebrating his daughter's graduation from college, so a special shout out to Ellie on her graduation, that Rabbi Mike's 25th anniversary celebration, there was an artist, and I'll leave that part a secret because I don't know how much he knows at the moment, that made something with our religious school students to commemorate his 25th anniversary. And though we are excited that we're going to be finally celebrating that in October, we are going to begin some of those celebrations a little bit early. And so the artist is going to be presenting that beautiful art piece. I've actually got a sneak preview of it at that service, and will tell us a little bit about it as more. So it should be a very special evening if you're able to join us online or in person for that. Let's see if there are any questions that have popped up that I see here. Excellent. Yes, there is another service happening tonight. Maddie Gold is celebrating her bat mitzvah tonight at 7:30. So if you want to stick around and celebrate with one of our 13-year-olds, she is going to do a wonderful job tonight, and should be a wonderful Shabbat service with some Torah in that Torah portion about the blessing that we read before. So since I don't see any other questions, I invite you, if you've got your cup at home, which I know some of you started a lot earlier than we did, I invite you to raise your cup of juice or wine or whatever it is that you're drinking and join with the cantor as we say thank you to God for the sweetness of the Sabbath day.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim. And we say those words that we find in this week's Torah portion as we ask God to bless you.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and may God protect you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'choneka.
May God shine upon you and may God shine through you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yisim lecha shalom.
May God lift you up, giving you the strength to be you. Most of all, may you be blessed with peace.
V'yisim lecha shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Cantor, everyone out there, and a special thank you to Audrey, who has been working behind the scenes and producing this. And Shabbat shalom to Audrey as well.